Speak Up English, the key to success.
Emma, I've got to tell you, prepositions are driving me nuts. I'm studying for this competitive exam, and I keep messing up.
I hear ya. Prepositions can be tricky. But don't worry, we'll crack 'em together. What's confusing you the most?
It's the little words like in on at and bye. They all seem so similar, but they can totally change the meaning of a sentence.
Yeah, they're small but powerful. Let's start with the basics. How about in, on, and at 4 places and times? That's usually where people get stuck.
Sure. So what's the difference between in and on when it comes to time?
Good question. In is used for longer periods of time, like months, years, and centuries. For example, I was born in June, or the internet became popular in the 90s.
Okay, that makes sense. What about on?
On is for specific days and dates. Like, I have an exam on Friday, or we met on March 10th.
Oh, got it. And at is for.
At is used for precise times and specific places. For example, the meeting starts at 3 p.m. or let's meet at the park.
I see the pattern now. But why does English have to be so complicated? Couldn't we just stick to one preposition for everything?
That'd be too easy, wouldn't it? But seriously, prepositions add nuance. Like, I'm in the car means you're inside it, while I'm on the bus means you're riding it.
Right. And I'm at the station means I'm there, but not necessarily inside the building.
Exactly. You're getting the hang of it. Another tricky one is by. It's used for showing how something is done, like by car, by train, or by reading.
So if I say, I'm preparing for the exam by studying every day, that's correct?
Perfect. And don't forget, by can also mean close to something. Like, I live by the river.
This is all starting to make sense now. I guess it's just about practicing and getting used to the different contexts.
Exactly. And hey, here's a tip. Try to use prepositions in sentences that are meaningful to you. It'll help you remember them better.
That's a great idea. I'll start doing that. Thanks, Emma. You always make things so much easier.
Anytime, Jasveer. Just remember, prepositions may be small, but they're mighty. Keep practicing, and you'll ace that exam.
I will. Thanks again.
So, Jasveer, how'd the preposition practice go? Feeling more confident?
Definitely. I've been using in on and at in sentences, and it's starting to click. But I've got a new question. What's up with prepositions and phrasal verbs?
Phrasal verbs. They're like the secret sauce of English. But they can be tricky because the meaning often changes completely with the preposition.
Yeah, like give up, look after, and take off. They don't mean what the words suggest at all.
Exactly. For example, give up doesn't mean you're handing something over. It means to stop trying, like I gave up smoking.
And look after means to care for someone, not just to look at them, right?
You got it. And take off can mean to remove something. Like take off your shoes, or it can mean to leave quickly, like the plane took off.
That's wild. English loves to keep things interesting, huh?
You could say that. The key with phrasal verbs is to learn them as whole expressions, rather than trying to figure them out word by word.
So, it's like memorizing them as a package deal?
Exactly. And pay attention to context. Sometimes the same phrasal verb can have different meanings, depending on how it's used.
That's gonna take some practice. Any tips on how to remember them?
One thing that helps is grouping them by the preposition. For example, focus on phrasal verbs with up, like wake up, give up, and pick up.
That's smart. I'll start with up and work my way through the others.
Great plan! And don't forget, using them in sentences that relate to your daily life will help cement them in your memory.
Like, I need to wake up early to pick up some groceries.
Exactly like that. Keep it relevant, and it'll stick.
You're really good at this, Emma. I feel like I'm finally getting a handle on these prepositions and phrasal verbs.
I'm glad to hear that. Just remember, English is a journey, not a destination. Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn.
Thanks for the encouragement. I'm ready to take on the next challenge.
That's the spirit. What do you want to tackle next?
Maybe idioms? I've heard they can be tricky too.
Ooh, idioms are fun. Let's dive into those next time. You'll be speaking like a native in no time.
Can't wait. Thanks again, Emma. You're the best.